Welcome back. Next lesson, lesson 72, the idea of implied ratios. I mean, so far in your math career, they've been using the word ratio to clue you in that, hey, you need to use a ratio. Like the ratio of parrots to macaws was 5 to 7. If there were 37 parrots, how many macaws? And so forth. Now we get a little more clever by understanding that the ratio is going on without actually using the word ratio. In other words, the idea of a ratio is implied, not specifically stated with the word ratio in the problem. So it's just a matter of recognizing what's going on. For example, you'll see stuff like, if 12 math books weigh 40 pounds, how much would 30 math books weigh? All right. The ratio here, something goes with something, all right, is implied. You don't see the word ratio anywhere in here, but you have to understand that something, math books, some number of math books, goes with some number of pounds. And that is proportional. It is in a ratio in that if the number of math books goes up, the number of pounds is going to go up the same way. All right? So we use our old friend, the sign of the cross. We're given a ratio. Even though it's implied, it's still given to us. And we have 12 books goes with 40 pounds. But actually we don't have 12 books. Actually we've got 30 books, and we want to find how many pounds that would be. Well, that gives us our proportion. 12 over 40 is equal to 30 over something. We can solve the proportion simply by cross multiplying and dividing by 12. 30 times 40 doesn't need a calculator. It's 3 times 4 with 2 zeros after it, which is 1200. And 1200 divided by 12 simply says that if you got 30 math books, you got 100 pounds of books there. Makes sense? All right, let's try another one. If 5 pencils cost that much, how much would 12 pencils cost? Again, you have to think proportionally here. You have some number goes with something, just like another number goes with something else. And so, again, the sign of the cross comes in. We have a given, although it's implied, ratio of 5 pencils goes with a $1.20 amount of money. But actually, I don't have 5 pencils. I've got 12 pencils. And so we want to know how much money that goes with when they go together in that ratio. 5 over 1.2 equals 12 over n. And we can calculate that out. 12, 1.2, twice that is 24. And shift it over, 144. And I've got one place there. So I've got $14 in that. So that's this. But then don't forget I have to divide by 5, all right? And so 14.4 divided by 5 goes twice, 4 left over, 0.8, and bring down a 0, and 8. So 12 pencils would cost $2.88. And you always got to ask yourself, does that make sense? Is it reasonable, all right? So I got 5 pencils and it costs this much. 12 pencils is about twice as many as 5 pencils, right? I mean, if I doubled 5 pencils, I'd have 10 pencils and it would be twice as much money, $2.44. So I got a little bit more than double the amount. So my amount of money for 12 pencils should be a little bit more than $2.44. And $2.88 is reasonable. If I had kept it at $14.40, that would not make any sense, because I would have doubled the amount of pencils, but like 10 times the amount of money. That's great if you're the store owner, but not if you're buying pencils. All right? So always reflect on your work, check back, make sure it makes sense, make sure it's reasonable. Now here's another type of implied ratio problem that you see in things like the SAT test when you're trying to go to college. All right? You see the 6 is to 15 as 9 is to what? Well, it's an implied ratio, all right? It's saying this idea of is to, says 6 is to 15, And as is an equal sign, goes with 9. Again, it's a ratio, so the order matters. 6 first, then 15. 6 on top, 15 on bottom. As equals 9 first, so that goes on top, is to what? We don't know. There you have it. It's a proportion. 15 times 9 divided by 6. All right, 15 times 9, if we were going to do that, 135, 135 divided by 6 goes twice, and it goes twice more, 22.5. And yeah, you can have fractional parts, you can have a decimal answer in these types of problems, all right? So, and finally, try this on your own. You can tie 25 bows in 3 minutes. How many could you do in 1 hour? Careful, there's a trap here, right? Hour and minutes. Stop the video and see if you can do this on your own. Well, now that you got the right answer, you immediately recognized, I'm sure, that 1 hour is 60 minutes. And you can't use 1 in your proportion, right? So we have the sign of the cross here. We have given 25 bows, goes with 3 minutes, not hours. Just like actually, how many bows, we don't know, goes in 60 minutes. All right? And so we can 25 times 60 divided by 3, or you could do 3 times 20 makes 60. So 25 times 20 is 500 bows. And again, you got to ask yourself, does that make sense? 25 bows in 3 minutes, that's a lot of bows in 3 minutes. And there's a lot of 3 minutes, there's 23 minutes in 1 hour, so every group of 3 minutes gets you 25 more bows, so yeah, 500 is reasonable. All right, that's about as hard as I can make this. So this is task number 2, lesson 72, A to C, 5 to 9. We'll see you next time.